What is up, guys? Tony up at Geek Legion Games, and today we got a Blue Flare profile to do. This is Chris Brown's, I think, exact list. I'm not entirely sure. I had to build it from the ground up through memory, and my memory is not that good half the time. I'm doing this in honor of him. He is stepping away from the Digimon game. He has wants to become, do more adult things. He's looking to adopt a child and all that. So, congrats to him. And I completely understand why putting the card name down for the time being. So, in honor of that, like I said before, we're doing this deck profile for him. So, without further ado, let's get on it. Alright, to start off the Digimon, we're running 5 eggs, 4 of them of which are Upamons here, a must of 4. One attacking once per turn. If your opponent has a Digimon with no sources, draw a card. Easy. You're doing it 100% of the time. If they either A, play one and they just never Digivolve on it, or they have sources and you're slowly stripping it down to nothing. Then we got this little guy right here that does pretty much the same thing, except when you're trashing sources, draw a card. You don't not necessarily have to attack with this Digimon. This can just chill on the field with a Madoki on it. You're trashing stuff, draw a card, and you happen to have this egg out here, draw again. So effectively, if this egg is out and this egg is out, each turn you're drawing 2 cards, which is pretty big. So that'll do it for the eggs. Not really much to go over with that. On to our level 3s. We have our Gausses over here. Must run of 4. Cards on deletion. It's just too good to pass up. You may play one of your level 4 Digimon with Blue Flare in its trace, suspended for free. Big. Honestly, if they're playing with Pillowmon out there and Pumamon for green, this obviously you can't do any of those plays, of course, but no one's really running that unless you're going up against Hydra, which is kind of a tough matchup anyway, but it can go either way. Playing out your Greymon, looking for 2 cards, all that such. We'll get over that to our level 4s when we get there. But next is up our last of our level 3s. We got our Madokis here. Basically, it's just a memory game, a choker. You're gonna go up against the mirror most of the time. If you got this out before them do, or they have one out, you're pretty much just denying each other memory. We do have ways to get rid of pests like this. We don't have a trident, but they may have one, but people are only just running out of 1. So, and then obviously against Hydramon, this card's just big because they're not doing a lot of swinging into your suspended Digimon unless they're forcing to tap this down and then going in and swing. But then you can crack back and get one of their Digimon too. But memory gain is just huge, so that's why we're running out of 4. You can run the 4 Vmons in place of this if your meta is not really like memory gain heavy, so you can go with the extra aggression with those. So with our level 4s coming out, we have our Greymons over here as a must have 4 of. On play, look at the 4 cards, add 2 cards with Blue Flare, and then you can put them in your hand. And put the rest on the bottom. And if you already have the Cure outside on the field, you have the option to also, I should say also, it's either or. You can fish out on Metal Greymon instead. So in late game, you're going to be fishing them out 100% of the time because you want to keep going. Because without Metal Greymon, this deck just does nothing. Pretty much your card stops running at that point. It runs out of oil, runs out of gas real quick. The only way that they shut you down too is if you're going against Setcon and they keep putting your security and not attacking with it. You basically have to just swing with these guys, and it doesn't feel good. Up next, we got our Mailbirds. Pretty much does the exact same thing as this, except for 1 extra memory, you get to either play out a Kira. If you don't have one out in the field, you can just play one out. Or if you have one, you can find a Metal Gray from your trash. So you have 8 cards that find us Metal Grays. And then, I also found the Heritables. Heritable in this one is if your Digimon has Blue Flare in its traits, and your opponent has 2 more Digimon, you get to stun lock something for the turn. Doesn't matter if it has sources or not. And this Greymon here, if you have, obviously Blue Flare, and your opponent has 2 more Digimon, you get to restand this. So this is where you swing twice with 8k, and then just make sure you can just stun something down that has blocker that your Metal Greymon hasn't already stunned already. So you can essentially just stun 4 things on the board. Lastly, for our level 4s that have Blue Flare and traits, there's our Deckerjamon here. Running it at 3 is fine. Chris ran it at 3 as well. On play, you're going to draw a card, and then for every one of your opponent's Digimon, draw another card. So if they have a mass board out like Commandramon, 3 or 4 Digimon out turn 3, or turn 2, because they can do that. Swing with Gaussmon, yeah, sure, it gets blocked, whatever. Play this, draw a hell of a lot of cards. Awesome. Draw, no net. If this card can net you some things, if it was like, it'd be good in a purple deck, of course, but it doesn't do that. Drawing cards is awesome. Got ahead of myself here. We have Kumamon here as our single hybrid for game. It also can trash a source if need to. If you can't stun everything, you can get this out there, strip that last blocker out, then it can't block. This thing can do a lot, but it's mainly there to swing out for game. And then lastly, we have our red Greymons. This comes from the structure deck and it's the alt art. So I'll show this up real quick to see what it looks like. Basically, you can use this Greymon with your Mailbird for your Metal Greymon because it doesn't need to specify color, it just specifies name, which I'll go over in a second, which gives us our security +1. So if you don't have the blue Greymons yet and you have this, the Mailbird and the Metal Greymon, you can still go ahead and Digicross. So, but the only thing you're doing, you're swinging once, but it's checking twice. So it's essentially the same thing as this. But that'll do it for level 5s. Let's get right into our level 4s, sorry, and then we'll get into our level 5s. So with that shown out, we've been talking about them a little bit. We have our Metal Greymon here. I'm gonna go ahead and show the alt art here. This reminds me of Gaiden from Godzilla. Just the red eye up there. Card's insane. Play cost is 7, but if you're Digicrossing for both the Greymon and Mailbird, this is essentially playing it down for 3. Gains Rush, and then you get to stun 3 of your opponent's Digimon if you Digicross. So 3 Digimon on the floor, bang, bang, bang. They can't do nothing. Honestly, it has save. You get to material save too, so basically your Greymon, your Mailbird can go around your Tamers, and you go ahead and do it again. And then up next, last for our Digimon, we have 3 Deckers here. We also have 2 alts here as well, courtesy to Chris. It looks more like a toy, but a really cool toy. And also, it's not focusing. Sorry about that. I think I got it now. He has Armor Purge on play or when Digivolving, so you can Digivolve for 4 on top of a level 4 to go into level 5. But if you already have a level 5 out, what you want to do with your Metal Greymon, it's for 2. By placing 1 Digimon with blue flare in its traits from your hand or Tamer, you can just do that. And then if it happens and you happen to have Deckergermon, you get to stun 1 more thing. So you can go the whole lineup with this, with the bring this up here real quick because all of a sudden the back's not focusing. So you can get this, Metal Greymon and Mailbird on this, right? Then you can go up on top of this, put in a Decker, and then you can stun 4 things. Swing Unsuspense, or no, if you want to do the Swing Unsuspense swing with the red Greymon, you have to have the other Greymon here, that's basically the main combo, which I'll pretty much do right now. So you have that, and the Mailbird. Oh, I almost forgot this guy too. So when you get your first stack out, you got this, right? So this is your first stack. You don't have to swing with it yet. You have 5 memory. Then you go ahead and Digivolve this, draw your card, and then you can slot in this guy. So you're swinging 2 times for 4 checks at 10k. You can swing Unsuspend, this goes down, Armor Purge, whatever, and then swing again here. Stunning 4 things, because this will be the 4th thing here. And actually, no, you stun 5 things. You stun 3 here, 1 here, if it's Deckergermon. So you're only doing 4. But if you add if this is Deckergermon, you get to stun 5 things. So that's that there. So that little combo out of the way, we're going to get right into our Tamers. If I explain anything wrong in that little combo skit thing there or whatever, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments below. But now we're back into focus. We have our 4 Curas here, otherwise known as Christopher in Japan. He's our memory setter. And then just like the Extra Cross deck, you can Digicross here by suspending him and throwing Digimon either under him or any of our other Tamers to go ahead and do all that fun stuff. That's all he's there for. Then we have our Sword Joe. This is probably our most powerful Tamer, besides this guy right here. Start your turn if your opponent has a Digimon of those sources, gain 2 memory. So having 2 of these out here, gaining 4 memory, boom, huge. Basically securing the fact that you're gaining at 7 memory at that point at the start of your turn. The way you lose, I don't think you could lose at that point. Then Tommy, little slow run to the litter. However you want to call him. Everybody hates him. I love him still. Security hit, play him, and then you can trash 3 sources of one of their Digimon. So they had a nice little stack going. If it's even the mirror, go ahead and just slap this guy down and just blow that Metal Greymon sources away. So those sources go in the trash, and you just honestly slow your opponent down. So this is really good against the mirror if you're able to time this out right. But that is it for our tamers. Not really much to say there. Options. Blazing Memboos is probably the next best Memboos out there other than Reinforce. The fact that you're paying for 5, looking at 6 cards, pulling 2 cards which are Blue Flare and Trade, which is pretty much most of this deck, and on top of that be able to pull 2 successful Blue Flares, and then there's a Tamer among them, play the Tamer out too. Holy crap, fun day, what were you thinking? And gain 2 memory once it's obviously, you know, since it's out here for a full turn, whatever. Huge. I'm glad that they didn't, you know, limit this to 1, because otherwise the deck wouldn't exist. But it's broken. Next broken Memboost card is this one right here. Honestly, with the recent restriction ban list hit, whatever, this card right here should have been among the one them. I don't know why, but here's why. Trash 2 Digi-Evolution sources from one of your opponent's Digimon, and then one of them with no sources stuns to a turn. How tilting is it? You can just go ahead and play this. Sure, stun something down, and then just play this, stun something down, pass. They can't do nothing for a turn, you gain 4 memory here at the start. And just go ahead and do what you gotta do to finish the game off. Huge. For people who are shell-shocked like me for Blue Hybrid, this card gives me bad mems. Up next, just to add more to that salt, is Sorai, the next best thing that EX03 put out for Blue Flare. For 4 memory, trash the top 4 Digi-Evolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Now, it isn't from the bottom. A lot of people, when they see this, they trash from the bottom. Unless they have 4, sure, do so. But if they have 5, you know, whatever's on the very bottom stays. Then, until your opponent's turn, anything without a source can attack. So, whoops. This gets hit for Commandramon. They really can't play the game. You can just swing, play this, stall them out, swing, play another one of this if you have 2 in hand, and they basically just lose. There's no way they can win at that point. The only way that players can get around this, if they were able to Digivolve on top, like let's say this is a Digimon that's stunned by this, and you go and Digivolve on top, now it can attack. That's the only way they can go around it. So if people did not know about that. And then for our bounce option spells, get ready for this. Running 2 Rattlestar. When I think I didn't play Chris in the store championship. I wasn't allowed to because I already have mine. Him playing this was like, holy crap. The fact that like for 5 memory, you can bounce one of their level 5 or lower to their hand. Sure, that's alright. Now if they have 3 or more Digimon, because people do get, if they're going up against this, they get infuriated that their Digimon can't do nothing. They're putting more stuff out there so they can do something and then fall short. You can go ahead if they have 3 or more and take either one of their Digimon and just tuck it away at the bottom of their deck. It's just for 5 memory. This is better than what is the call card? Megadeth. That just puts it to their hand. Speaking of put cards to hand, running 2 Kakaida's Breath here. If you don't have Kakaidas, if you can't get a hold of them because they're in the starter deck too, your next best bet is the Plasma Decker, I don't know what you want to call it. I'll throw on the screen here. It's a very poor imitation of this card. Its inherent its security effect, I don't know why I say inherent. Its security effect pretty much does what Kakaida does, but if they have 2 or more Digimon in the field, you get to reduce cost by 2, which is cute. Not gonna lie, it's pretty good. But the drawback is it can only bounce a level 6 or a level 7. If you're really doing it at that point, you're probably in a really bad spot. So just run the Kakai's Breath. It really just does it. And also too, I have held the Decker Plasma card in my hand, and I really wanted to bounce a level 4 that was just as annoying, and I can't do it. It's just sitting in my hand. And I just wish I could throw into security and then to have it get bounced away. But I'm talking too much. Last card, Ice Wall, because it's Ice Wall. It's just a really good card. All your opponent's Digimon gain when attacking, lose 2 memory. Now, it seems kind of like ironic that you're doing a lot of stunning and not a lot of them are attacking, but it's just if you can't really stun that much, or they know they're gonna attack with other Digimon that they can go up in sources. But if you play a Sorai, choke them at 1. That's all you really can do there. But this is pretty much the deck here. I hope you guys enjoyed my blue flare list. I think Chris pretty much run this for his store tournament that he got for LA, which unfortunately he won't be attending to, of course. But I think this is his list. I hope he approves this list as well. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you like this video, and then other deck profiles I do, give them a look. I do read the comments. Please comment below. I love interacting with y'all. And don't forget to get Geeky on, and we'll see you guys next time.